You know how you don't realize it. But as you mature and grow up, you're exposed to things and have had things happen to you that shape you, change you. This happens unbeknownst to you at the time, and you don't realize what aha moment it is setting you up for. When I was younger, my mother and I were very close. She often told me how much I reminded her of herself at that same age. The energy of my circle of friends, the love of theater, how I would work a room, my sense of humor. We were parallel that way, how we guided our world. Mine was just beginning, while hers was slowing down. More people were coming into my life, while she was experiencing more loss. I was getting married, having babies, meeting new people, and starting a career. She was losing my father, her mother, friends, and moving out of the house that she raised the four of us in. Changes for both of us were occurring constantly. But her changes made her feel less connected to me, and our relationship became more difficult after our lives were no longer parallel. There was much more push and pull, more of a divide. It made it difficult to maintain that closeness we once had, and it became work when we saw each other. I didn't realize that because our lives had been so parallel this entire time, that she was reminded of all the things that were hers once upon a time. My life was playing out just like hers did, and I'm sure it's a mixture of joy and sadness to see that happen in front of you. Experiencing again vicariously as a bystander and feeling like you know what will happen next, all the while knowing you won't experience it firsthand anymore. It can remind you of what is gone, not what is coming. And it was during this time that family and friends would often tell me how much I looked like my mother. I acted like my mother. I would roll my eyes and inform them that I was like my father. My mother and I, we just shared the same curly hair and blue eyes. I didn't want to be compared to her. I didn't want to share that common ground anymore. Because our relationship felt so broken, I didn't want that connection. And deep down, I knew it wasn't just the eye color and the curly hair. It was the way we both chose the same type of man to be our husband. The same way we would walk into a room, the same way we acted in plays and musicals, and the same way we loved the job of being the court jester of any gathering. The same way we loved the spotlight. In the same way, we mothered our children. A lot of my mom was in me, and I pushed it away. I didn't want to have that relationship with my girls turn out the way mine did with her. I was scared of what that crystal ball was telling me. My children provided that buffer that my mom and I needed at that time, and she loved experiencing everything with them again. And I turned to her with all the new mom questions that exist, and it was a delicate balancing act, but it felt better with them. They contributed to some of the healing that she and I desperately needed, and I could start to feel like that crystal ball wasn't going to predict the same relationship for my girls and me. And not only that, these children of mine gave her a different kind of energy and purpose I hadn't seen for a while. Baby steps. We had baby steps. My mom suffered a massive stroke that no one was really prepared for. And we didn't have that much time to get together as a family and be with her. And she was not awake at all during those 2 days. So we weren't able to chat. and spend the time asking questions or saying sorry. But it offered more time of reflection for me. Time to say thank you for giving me life. Her time, her belief in me, her support and her pride in me, her love for me, and the power and the push to be a good mom. At her funeral, when people would comment about how much I reminded them of my mother, it made me feel honored. After all, she was just a woman who became a mom, tried her best, and had some successes and failures too, just like me. And I don't think there's anyone else I would rather be compared to.